Moshi! Finally, yes. I mean, are you counting this as an early stream in comparison to it's way before a morning stream? Or just it's before 9 p.m. technically? How's the new schedule, Soap Dish? Hello, DJ. Hello. Should probably get the game rocket on over here, but feels weird. The sun is out, isn't out. English. The moon. It's cold. Oh, we'll get there. Just before the fair enough. Let's get that going. But yeah, and I finished up Final Fantasy 12 yesterday, so it was a glorious experience. I was told I was underleveled, but we still got her done with much the help of chat. And there's a little bit of comedy to it. I beat the final boss with literally a gill toss. This isn't a regular week yet. You've been on opening shift, and it's been a week so far. Yeah, money. I Ted DiBiase'd him. That's what happened. But we're here. Trails back on into it. So we'll probably be really focusing on this and, Pokemon and Final Fantasy 14. This will take the grunt. We won't be starting anything new to replace Final Fantasy 12 just yet. So I need to be sane again going forward. So let's open on up. I believe we just sort of finished a bunch of robot transformer fights the last time we played this. So cutscene Aruni sounds about par for the course. I can't ask how everyone is this morning now. It's irrelevant. After restraining the 23rd Division, they finally had a moment to rest. Now, who's the 23rd Division? The people who are resting in the purple? Or is that Olivier's crew finally a moment to rest? Yeah, we just saved Olivier Charizard. And we're gleefully happy. So was it not a normal, regular week for you because it was the holiday there, Soap Dish? Or was that different? You've started to Claire Obscure. Not very far yet. I really like the combat. However, so far the story isn't gripping you. I hope it does. It doesn't matter how much I like the combat if the rest of the game doesn't interest me. See, I've talked about this, and I'm sure you've been privy to the conversations as well. I have not heard a bad thing about that game. I've heard the story is fantastic, but I don't know how super far you are as to whether or not, or where there's a point where it grips you, I guess to speak, because I haven't played it yet. But, I'm sure it will. But before long, Professor Schmidt came to warn of another approaching crisis that he had observed in the Watchtower.
More of the Republic's weaponry is on the move?
Yes, Reen. More of it.
Indeed. I confirmed it as I was analyzing the projection device. Every one of their tanks and airships at the base started acting independently. It was chaos from there. Most of these left to gather at Nord's northeastern border.
The 23rd Armored Division's tanks, airships, and soldats have started doing the same thing.
It's AI. Elon Musk, Mark Zuckerberg, and Andy Dick have all decided to just start running these things on their own.
Forces hidden throughout the Highlands started convening at Zender Gate after they had attacked the Courageous Two. There can only be one possible reason for this remotely operated show.
We lost some staff and someone had holidays that were long ago booked, so we've been running a skeleton crew all week and I've been working over 10-hour days all week. That sounds terrible. I'm sorry that you've had to overwork yourself.
They're planning
you do
to
get
stage a skirmish between
your,
the two
your,
armies
your
much
rest
bigger than the
sooner
one
rather than later.
and use it as an excuse to restart the war.
I feel like this war really hasn't ever, like, properly ended, as opposed to restarting wars here.
This can't be happening.
But it is, Sheeta. It is. It wouldn't be so bad if it wasn't on call on top of it. Wait, so, oh, I guess the same happens at my work. I mean, I'm not necessarily on call, but there are people who are on call that also work during the day as well, so that would suck.
But something doesn't seem right here. Restarting the war was the 23rd Armored Division's goal, not the Supreme Leader's.
I agree. I think it's safe to assume that he is involved in all of this. But what's happening here doesn't seem to logically connect with him taking over Crossbell and starting a united nation.
I honestly don't think I'd put anything past him at this point.
I was gonna, like, say, like, why on earth is Grace sounding like she's, like, you know, not in the room, but she isn't. She's on, like, the intercom thing.
We just don't have enough information to say for sure what's going on right now. If only I had my artifact. That would make it easier to communicate with those not currently with us.
Just one more day and the week is
Sonorous
done.
seashell
One
would be
last
very useful
4:30
here.
a.m. morning. I didn't think many people got up much earlier than I did going on into work, but you take the cake there, my friend. Half an hour before I get up.
Do you suppose the Supreme Leader has hold of it now?
I feel like this is too bright for me. It might be a little better.
If anything, I'd imagine they were more interested in that than Olivier or the Courageous 2. It appears the division wasn't informed of what happened to it after the Defense Force seized it either.
It sounds like we were just being used to camouflage their true intentions, which just makes all of this even more
Oh, that's when you get to
frustrating.
work. Oh. So what ungodly time in the morning do you have to wake up at?
I feel terrible for not being able to keep it safe after the church was good enough to turn a blind eye to me having it.
How do you do it? What time do you... Are you just deciding to just stay, like, have you already slept and now, like, you're up ready to go, like, to work at 2 a.m. type of thing? I'm so confused.
You can't blame yourself for this, Your Highness. Let's turn it being taken into a positive. We know the seashell makes it possible to communicate over any distance.
This is sort of funny. It's sort of like Final Fantasy where it's like a link shell or a link pearl will communicate across long distances with people. Oh, you've only been home for like 90 minutes. Okay.
If we assume it's being used to help control weaponry remotely, our mysteries suddenly aren't quite so mysterious.
Quite. That would certainly
This wine ain't gonna
explain
drink
how they
itself.
can remotely control even the tanks from Calvert's base.
Today was a 12.5-hour day. Usually that's what I work is 12-hour days, but I don't work them 5 days a week. Usually it's either 4 on my long weeks or 3 on my short weeks.
I would assume they're using a device somewhere in the Highlands.
If so, then our next move is clear.
Yeah. We need to find the remote control device behind this and destroy it. That's the only way we can prevent this situation from getting any worse.
What if it's just like Jonas, just like sitting in a back room on his computer with like a big giant remote control just going da 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 da. Oh, you're on a 5-1 this week. You normally do 9 to 6. Oh, 5 to 1, sorry.
Then please, let us help you.
Well, at least you're home well into the afternoon, right?
I can't fight, but I at least know the lay of the land. Oh, Toma, Sheeta.
Do the two of you understand just how dangerous what you're proposing is?
Yes. We know that a war might be about to start.
But all of this is happening in our home. It's our problem. We don't want to sit on the sidelines while everyone else risks their
Except when you
lives
don't get to
help us.
leave until 5 p.m.
We want to be why Lily, Mom, and Charles are safe from harm.
Please just be careful. You're both the best.
There'd be a little bit of comedic relief. There we go. Look at that word rightly. If one of these people, like, you know, sort of forgot their filter settings on this Zoom call and they appeared as a cat or a dog, And they can't figure out how to change it back.
They really are.
I won't lie. I'm a little scared. But I don't want to sit here cowering. Let us put those nerves to use. Please!
They've really grown, huh?
That they have. I feel genuinely proud to know them.
Can't say no, guys.
All right. I'll admit that we need all the help we can get. So we'll be happy to have you backing us up.
As long as it's not too busy tomorrow, which Fridays typically aren't, I should be able to leave at the time I am supposed to. Well, fingers and toes crossed for you, my friend.
But promise me that you won't willingly put yourselves in more danger than you have to.
We won't!
We promise.
Well, now that that's settled, we need to start deciding who's going to do what.
Ooh, do I get to make my own little team here or what?
Those tanks could start attacking at any time. At least some of us are gonna need to be ready to stop them.
I've never had the pleasure of that soap dish, but I heard that is one of the most painful things a man can go through. Have you had the pleasure yourself? Gaius is here to make everything better for the goddess. You are right there, Ninja.
I agree. Time is of the essence. Let's get to work.
I gotta say, the bedhead isn't too bad. That's what I get for just throwing on a hat all day. So the group hustled to form a plan in the short time before the armies were estimated to begin their assault. Eventually, they came up with one that accounted for everyone and put their individual strength to use. Then, a buddy of yours in junior high did. Oh, that sounds terrible. What was he doing that during school it happened? I could just picture like just hearing some giant like yelp in the background and just everyone wondering why is he holding his groin? Bizet, okay, yeah, probably doing something.
All right, we're good to go.
Operation preparations are complete. Report on your individual statuses.
How you doing tonight, Ninja? Fooling around on the climbing rope. See, back then,
I'm in position in the Southern Highlands.
they made kids climb up the rope, usually without a mat, right? Back when men were men.
The Courageous 2 is also in position.
It's almost time.
Is everyone in the Northeast ready?
Yes, we're also in position.
Are we trying to like goat them into the Nord Highlands around or something? Floor mats, what are those? Real men just got
Emma,
concussions and said thank you
get
for the
us started.
experience. Yeah, except we also didn't know what concussions were back then. You got your bell rung, you were told to walk it off and get back to work. Sad to say, it kind of sucks to live in the Nord Highlands. They've seen almost constant catastrophe in the last 4 years.
Of course.
They sure have. I mean, just like with the last stream and even Gaius and them mentioning beforehand, like them having to move settlements every seemingly, I mean, they don't really give a timeline, but it sort of seems like every 6 months to a year they're having to move to a safer location, and just seems like there's nowhere safe anymore to move.
Replenishing mana.
Soap dish, it doesn't matter what we're talking about anymore, right? It's all the same.
That's definitely the most suspicious spot in the Southern Highlands.
A soldier
What
from
do
the
you got on that
division
pole there,
mentioned the
DJ?
area was sealed off due to fallen rocks, but thinking about it now, there's an animal trail.
Oh, that was a
nearby
concussion
that will allow
joke.
us to
Oh.
approach unnoticed.
As someone who's had
I'll tell you where to
multiple
go.
concussions
Thanks.
into the double
You're a
digits,
doll.
it's probably because of those concussions that I did not pick up on said joke.
My brother investigated the ancient quarry in Lake Lacrima the other day. There are only so many places in Nord to conceal
Knock yourself
something
out,
like this.
DJ.
So if we rule those out, one conspicuous spot remains.
You're right. And that's where we'll...
What was that? It made me think of a wounded beast.
I can feel something murderous in the air.
Is that thing coming alive
The
again?
Empire's tanks have begun their advance.
Oh.
I've confirmed the same on the Calvardian side. A significant number of airships are also inbound.
Why are they focusing
Here
on his
we
penis?
go.
I try to find it hard to believe that those little tires behind those feet are just moving that thing, just like a set of Heelys.
What a rabble of soulless lumps. Is this all the challenge they can afford?
Two games you can vote for, okay. It would just look better if they were like flying or like legitimately running.
Right. If I can keep this up.
Kurt, we're ready.
Go ahead and fall back.
I don't know why I find that so funny. It should be. I don't know if DJ's ever played that or had the pleasure of going through so many rings as possible.
Like it's going to hold.
The northeastern point is
A
secured.
true Superman
Can we leave
game.
the airships to you?
Certainly.
What was like the premise of having to go through the rings? Was that like to get your powers back somehow?
Professor?
That's always how they make a Superman game, is because Superman is like the end-all be-all, super powerful unless someone has kryptonite. You always have to like give a reason of like, how can we take his powers away so you can slowly gain them back? How about we fly through some rings in the city of Metropolis? So in Cold Steel 1, Nord got caught up in the terrorist attack. Later in the same year, Cold Steel 4 got caught up in the Civil War. And then they were close by during the war with Calvary. Yeah, there's no escaping. Yes, Cold Steel. You jump from Cold Steel 1 to Cold Steel 4 so quickly, Ninja, we didn't even know. Ninja, I feel like it's every gamer's job to play through Superman 64 at least once in their life to truly know how terrible games can be.
The orbal waves confirm that you're in the right place. The device is there for sure.
Arios, I believe. The robot one again.
Who is that?
It was a huge, huge success. You know, they said they had the Iron Dome. We're gonna have the Golden Dome. You know, I think that's the last thing I heard him say. He played Sonic 06. I'd rather not see further depths. Is Sonic 06? No, I was gonna say that's not Sonic Adventure, because Sonic Adventure was the Dreamcast, which was 1999. That was okay, wasn't it? Remember the giant whale? That's all I remember.
Oh, we found what we came for.
The game could have been
We
absolute
return to the settlement
dog shit
and start
right after
evacuating
that.
everyone. I'll see that the device is disabled. Go.
All right. Good luck, Green. May the blessings of the winds and the goddess be with you.
The only part that was challenging was the tiny little controller in your huge hands. Wait, you found the Nintendo 64 controller little? Or is this another concussion joke that I'm not following? Is he gonna like yeet himself?
You may not be the real Arios, but your skill with the sword is on par with the Divine Blades. That's all the more reason I can't let you sully his name or the integrity of the 8-Leaf School any further. As a master of the 7th form, and a fellow swordsman of the same rank, I'm going to put an end to this. Schwarzer.
What's the Sonic game
You shall fall to
that
my
was
blade,
recently
Schwarzer.
decompiled? That's the big thing nowadays going on with video games is things getting decompiled. It's one of the Sonic games. It's not Adventure. Is it Unleashed? I feel like that's going to be the true thing that may take off, that may or may not replace. I don't know if anything will like replace emulators, but a lot of people who are doing these decompilations are just have them just like portrait themselves into the game, which is nice. That's great for a playability point for a PC. All right, what do we want to do here? We're already jacked up here. Let's get those BP points up. I'm afraid he's going to do some crazy stuff here, so let's just do that. Sonic and Shadow Generations, that's the most recent. I thought it was Frontier, which also I don't know if that was good or not, so. Critical rate? Why not? Why not, right? Oh, you were barely hitting me here. Oh, that was unfortunate.
It's my turn.
This isn't gonna go his way. Hey, oh, thank.
Arcus, activate. Let's go. Kane.
Sonic and Shadow Generations is a remaster of Sonic Generations, so technically Frontiers is the latest game. What was the one that was sort of back, maybe on the Switch? Maybe not even the Switch, maybe it was before that. Was there one called Sonic Colors that went back to sort of like the 2D era?
Cut through.
I mean, I was never a Sonic kid. I only ever played Sega games at friends' houses who were Sega kids. I was always a Nintendo kid. I don't think outside of the Dreamcast. The Dreamcast was literally the only Sega system I owned. I always wanted a Saturn, but sort of by the time that I was really gonna go and go for one, it wasn't really something I was really thinking of.
Winds, envelop me with strength.
Colors got a remaster not long ago. Okay. Then they gave it away on PSN a few months ago for free, assuming you had PS Plus. And then isn't there like now like a I need to steal that, and I don't think I'm gonna get I don't know if my attack is going to give me 16 CP. So I almost need to use this. Well, if I use that, that's going to get me my hit.
Fiercest fire, blazing swarm.
Then I can just smack them.
Let's go.
And then steal the. There we go.
Eternally flowing.
And didn't Sony get rid of something? I don't know what it was. Sony All Stars? I don't know what it was. I saw people sort of mentioning it. Wario64 brought it up on Twitter or something. Is that like some type of different PlayStation giveaway thing or something? Oh, now you decide to do this, eh? Okay. Oh, the only time I was jealous of my friend with a Sega was when Lunar Silver Story released on the Sega CD. And now, you know, we have the remaster that's out now. But I still feel like there's probably a little bit of... I think back then, like that, I'm sure people still love that old school Sega CD one, right? Like, I mean, I'm sure, you know, the remaster's fine. I would assume not, but... you know, it's one of those things of where how could you go wrong for it? You renew it every year, right in the description for fighting games online, so it's a fantastic deal for you anyways. Well, that's good. That's good. Need that, but I am afraid of him doing something silly. So we'll just throw that out there.
Let's
He
go.
should be dead soon enough anyways.
Marcus, activate.
Good timing.
Here I go.
Hi, Luigi. We were hoping you'd come in the other day. I love that name. Now, I gotta say, is it Luigi? Squeegee? Like, I see there's a W in there. I don't know how to say that there, but hi. Oh, beautiful. And we get the 30 CP points. He might be dead after this anyways. Luigi with a squeegee, I'm guessing. I mean, yeah. That could be it too. Oh, it's Cloud. It's Luigi with a squeegee. Wait, it's Cloud like as in, like, Y2 Cloud? Did you... Is this your alt? Oh, your Nintendo streaming account. Okay. This all makes sense now. All coming together now. There we go.
Sure, sir. I can't afford to lose.
Well, now I know that it's you. Luigi with a squeegee. I love it. Where'd you get that name from? My goodness. It's very nice when you start off a fight with the going crazy Reen without all the kickback. Don't forget the passive of Reen's Master Quartz, 30 CP on top of whatever you get every turn. It is, yeah, that's what I was trying to think. Is it 30 or 15? That's why I was sort of curious if it was, if I was going to get that CP thing, but it worked out in the end. I feel like PlayStation All-Stars should have done better than it did. Sony has just as many cool access to many characters and mascots.
Second form.
But they probably didn't want to pay the money like Nintendo did.
Impressive. Damn it. I know that wasn't the real Arios, and yet...
The remaster of Lunar that recently came out is actually a remaster of Lunar Silver Star Story Complete, which was the enhanced PSX port that included cut content from the Japanese version. So, in reality, it's a really good version of what they put out, essentially.
Just what are the Supreme Leader and his allies thinking?
Better than the Sega CD. Okay. That was always a game where I think I bought it on the PlayStation originally and just never really played it. Like, there's many games like that, including Final Fantasy 12, which we just finished. But there was many of those games where, you know, back when games weren't ridiculously overly expensive like they are now. You just go to the store and browse and
I don't have time to be
grab a few
speculating
games,
right now.
maybe trade some stuff in and, get it. And I saw that. I saw that, like, basically New Orleans put out like a little bit of a press release saying that they sort of seem to be in the dark as to why they are not getting it anymore, and everyone's pointing it that it's going to go back to Vegas again. I guess WWE really loves money. which then begs the question of, obviously, then the year after next, it's going to be in Saudi Arabia then, right?
I've secured the device, Professor.
About time. Hurry up and show me what it looks like.
Although like, to think of it the same way.
It appears to have the same basic structure as the device on the watchtower.
It's not like New Orleans didn't have one not too long ago themselves. Like, I'm not a fan of it going back to back or, back to Vegas, but, usually these big places like Mania is like, you know, a one and done for the city type of thing. Like everyone gets one, you know, you open up a big giant stadium. WrestleMania is like its first little big huzzah to set the attendance record, whether it's real or not. And, you know, and then, you know, the football team or the baseball team or someone moves in type of thing. So New Orleans already has had 2 WrestleManias. Okay then. I don't feel overly too bad though. Yeah, it's already ridiculous that they're doing the Rumble there. I think they're really just testing the waters a little bit. I mean, I'd like to believe, Soap Dish, that they wouldn't do a WrestleMania in Saudi. It's funny to think of, like, I don't want to speak too kindly of Vince McMahon. The man has done a lot for wrestling. He's also done a lot of shitty things for wrestling. But some of the little things, like seeing the product now, like, that I'm not a fan of like, I don't like that they have advertisements around the ring and in the ring. And I always remember people saying, like, Vince was always very adamant of, like, the mat will not have any sponsorships, right? Like, it's at worst, I would just like to see the WWE logo in the middle of the ring if they were going to do something like that. But I was just like the clean mat. And now that it's just filled like a UFC mat, and I don't like the look of it. I would like to think that if Vince was still in charge, even as much as he likes money, I think Vince McMahon would be the type of person who would be like, no, we can't do WrestleMania in Saudi Arabia type of thing. Like, even if they give me $1 bajillion, I think he would be the type of person that would say no. But now that he's not in charge anymore, and it's a big conglomerate, and it's a TKO thing, it wouldn't shock me if they have a WrestleMania in Saudi Arabia. Yeah, I think at this point, DJ, I think it's still far enough out that people still get, obviously, their deposits back for hotels. I mean, if a hotel doesn't want to give back a deposit from something that's not going to happen for a year out, that's a little shitty on their end, but I think it's enough notice that, you know, conventions and other things that usually happen around WrestleMania that's not a part of WWE, you know, they just got to find something else to do. But yeah, if Vince was still in charge, no one would be watching still. Yeah, I mean, I partially think that's even outside of all the shitty legal things that he was involved in over the last few years. I feel like, you know, he was losing touch. I mean, he is an old man, but Vince McMahon's a very weird creature. You'll hear this about few people. Like, some people will never speak ill of him at all. They think of him as a father figure. Other people are not afraid to dump him in 2 seconds because of what he's done in the business. And some people are sort of wishy-washy of like, yeah, sure, he's done a few bad things, but, you know, he gave a lot of people a lot of work, right? And I don't think wrestling would be where it is without Vince McMahon. But
we need to start disabling it at once. Follow my instructions to the letter.
Yes, sir.
I guess they want to sell more front row seats for $50,000 in Vegas again.
They stopped.
Success!
Good. Reen and the professor must have found it.
I would have preferred some exercise, but it's good that it's over.
Looks like we made it in time.
Reporting in, Your Highness. I've disabled the remote control device. Did that do what we hoped?
There isn't a single business without skeletons. Some of them are just more dirty than others. Oh, for sure. For sure.
All Calvardian units in the northeast have ceased to function.
The same is true for the Erebonian units in the south.
Then the operation
You're
was a
certainly not
success.
wrong, Ninja.
Well done, everyone.
Thank Adios!
We really did it!
And some skeletons are really, really terrible, too.
To say I'm relieved would be underselling it.
As if there was any other possible outcome with me involved.
I honestly feared the worst at one point. But you did it, guys.
Is something wrong, Muse?
It's just, I feel like we're missing something.
I was gonna say, like, not necessarily maybe this isn't what Muse is referring to, but we saw what Reen sort of disabled with the professor. The thought of having multiple of those, like, beacons around somewhere that are maybe really well hidden and just, you know, they're not able to find it and everything just keeps going crazy would be a little,
What do you mean?
off the cuff.
I'm sorry. I'm having trouble putting my thoughts into words. But
Everyone here is well aware of your keen intellect. Even if you can't articulate it cleanly, whatever insight you can provide would be extremely valuable. Please, go on.
What are you up to there, Luigi McSqueegee, this evening?
think back to the attempted coup in the capital. I think you'll agree that it didn't exactly seem meticulously planned. The same is true here in the Highlands. This was a highly inelegant brute force approach to restarting the war. Neither operation feels like a plan that the Supreme Leader would orchestrate.
Just on the PC? Made some potato skins to eat. There you go.
That's true.
Little cheddar. Little bacon. That's all a man needs.
I think it's safe to assume that he's behind everything happening. Even so,
why would someone so precise act so sloppily?
Guys, you might be onto something, but I don't think you're putting everything together. If something is so precise yet sloppily, it's a distraction.
Ever since he crashed the signing ceremony, every move he's made has been flawless. Almost eerily so.
A little ranch to dip him in, maybe? Maybe.
All evidence still points to him being a fraud, but that doesn't make him the lesser strategist. If anything, he's proven himself to be better. That leads me to believe he intended to dispose of the military elements we've been facing from the start.
So, Cloud, can I ask, why didn't you just use your Y2 Cloud account for the Nintendo account?
Meaning, our actions are
What am I
suiting his
missing?
needs by taking them out of the picture.
Hold on a second. If all you're saying is true, then our victory here was exactly what the Supreme Leader wanted to happen all along?
Exactly, Olivier.
Unbelievable.
that can't be right.
It's all a ruse.
Then what's his next move? The game isn't over yet. We still have time to turn this in our favor.
But how?
What more can we do at this point?
The device is disabled, taking away the only means to remotely control those tanks. And it wouldn't make sense to have a spare. If the Supreme Leader intended us to fall for this ploy, then his goal lies elsewhere. That leaves 19 possibilities.
19. You're streaming Mario World currently. I'm in Bowser's Valley now, almost done the game. Okay.
No. None of them fit. There has to be one play, a single move that brings this game to a stunning conclusion.
Your Highness, everyone!
What's wrong, Instructor?
I've been thinking after finishing 12 and after I finish this of maybe doing like a good little run into something like starting fresh with the Mario or something. Like, you know, right at the beginning. I mean, not like the beginning where we're fighting Donkey Kong, but I mean like, you know, maybe doing Mario 1, you know, because like those won't take long, right? Like I could probably honestly do like Mario 1, 2, and 3 in probably, you know, a week. Mario World probably in, you know, a few days type of thing. And then before you get into the, you know, I don't want to get overly ahead of myself, but, you know, New York and Los Angeles had WrestleMania 4 times, Orlando 3, lots of places had it twice, Detroit, Philly, Toronto, and I'm Las Vegas and New Orleans. Yes, yes, people forget that Toronto had WrestleMania twice.
Your expression is grave.
Yes, was he always called Jumpman in Japan? Or was always Jumpman, and then they were like, this is our new man now. We have to give him a name, and Jumpman ain't doing it.
You'll understand when I tell you what we found at the Stone Circle.
Yeah, but to be fair, like WrestleMania now, I'm trying to say, like, what was the first stadium? That's such a rough saying, because I would count Skydome as a stadium. I think they've been in Safeco Field in Seattle. That's a stadium, a baseball stadium. Silverdome, yeah. 3. But I feel like at 3 they made a point. And then sort of like feeling on down later on, like they go to smaller and smaller venues. So like that's what I was trying to say of, like, you know, yeah, they did good with the Silverdome. Yeah, like that's what I'm saying. You know, then it was in, you know, Madison Square Garden, where I remember there's a little documentary that Triple H and Vince McMahon were trying to argue. I think it was WrestleMania 20 to do that one, or maybe 25. In Madison Square Garden, but obviously, like, at that point, like, you're talking about doing a WrestleMania that could do, what, 70,000, 80,000, and putting it into a 20,000, you know, it doesn't make sense, even though it's, you know, Madison Square Garden is still important to them type of thing. Yeah, 4 and 5, I heard that was a deal with Trump, I believe. Wasn't that the one that was at, Trump thing? I can't remember. Trump Casino or whatever.
Everyone needs to evacuate now. There's a railway gun here that's about to fire.
Yeah, and now it is. It's gonna happen again. I don't think WWE has come out and publicly said that WrestleMania is happening in Vegas again, right? I assume they're gonna like announce it on Raw or on the next premium live event. Alright, there's a railway gun and it's about to fire. We need to get on out of here.
A railway gun? How?
There was a projection device just like the one at the watchtower here, too. The second the remote control device was disabled, it turned off, and the gun started preparing to fire. Even worse, its target has been preset as the Highlands settlement.
No. What?
I hope no one's still there.
Pre-programmed?
That has to be the case. Firing that gun was likely his true aim all along. Why did he choose the settlement as his target? There are still people there.
Can't you stop it, Instructor?
I've tried, but the control room is locked, and I can't force my way inside. The firing sequence has already begun.
That's good, Cloud. I mean, that's always the thing. You never want to not have something to
He's
stream.
getting horses ready as fast as he can, but
There's no way to outrun the blast from an 80-reed shell. It's too late.
Oh! Lily! Mom!
All we can do is what we can, but we can't afford to give up.
We're on our way. Sarah, just get out of there for now.
It's
The Cow Palace.
to save them? No, I can't let them die. Is there nothing I can do?
What is that thing that's in the background?
If only he were here. If I could just reach out. If only I had the strength.
Oh, don't do it, Reen.
What? To me!
What? Tearfing S? What is Tearfing S? What happened to Valimar or something?
I'm so sorry, my love.
We're saved? Why is that here?
What's happening?
Oh god, he's gonna go back to having white hair again.
What is...
White Knight?
That looks just like...
Mueller, retreat! We're going down!
Be calm!
You're...
It's the Megazord. Rita Repulsa's going down.
I'll support you with my magic. Don't lose your nerve now, Prince.
Roselia.
Prepare for an emergency landing!
No! Who are...
This has to be a joke.
Kurt!
Principal Le Guin.
Are you all right? You'll do no more harm.
I see my chance for a real fight has finally come.
We just had to wait long enough, Aurelia. What?
It's gone.
You okay, Reen?
Instructor.
Lily! Toma!
Sheeta. Thank-Adios.
I was so scared!
That was nothing short of a miracle.
My head is spinning.
How many people fit in the cow palace, by the way?
Right in there?
We'll get you out, right?
Instructor?
Your hair and your eye.
I'm so glad. You're okay. I've missed you. So much.
Rean. Are you in pain?
No. I'm fine. I just feel so sad somehow, but also so happy that I could cry.
They went from the Dark Ages to Mecca in a little over 50 years. I'm sure things will get answered. And of course, I just like to shoot the shit here and talk to myself and share the thoughts here. So my first thing was, much like what Soap Dish heard, that was Valimar, right? Why did I miss something in the previous game where he called him tear fungus? Yeah, Reen's got pink eye. He slept on a dirty pillow that was farted on. Or, up a cat's butthole trying to have vision. And then, of course, okay, so that was not Valimar. Okay. It looked very similar to him, though. I guess I wasn't really overly paying enough attention. It looked enough to me. It was a robot. Let's be clear with that. And then there was another robot that appeared in the sky that ripped apart the Courageous 2. But then other magic people came in and rescued the people inside the ship. So this is something new. You'll get your answers when okay. Usually Trails is pretty good about this stuff as to answering these questions. But, so am I under the impression that, I should have known that wasn't Valimar? Look, I finished Cold Steel 4. I got what happened with the separation with Reen and Valimar, and everyone had a happy-go-lucky, I don't need you anymore, we're good, thank you for sacrifices and all that stuff. So, it was weird that maybe I'm not picking up on it or something, or that's the concussions to the head, I don't know. Yes. I like my theory that it's the Chartreuse Ranger and his Megazord coming to take out Rita Repulsa and Lords. You're probably not wrong. She's just living on the other side of the moon, right? Or maybe it was the Shredder. Yes. All right, so we were on Reen's route. Everyone's got their Act 4 to do. Dr. Claw? Yes. Choose a route. I'm interested to know what's going on further with Reen's route. You can't leave me on a cliffhanger, then expect me to still tune into your show 8 weeks later.
This is Arya Shrine, then?
That's right. We came here during the Civil War 2 years ago, too.
The disturbance in the spirit veins has made it manifest once more. It's how we were able to swoop in and save the day.
Okay, so because of how close they were to the shrine, that's how Rosalia was able to get to the area so quickly and save a few peeps.
It does seem like we'll be able to use parallel teleportation to go to Crossbell from here.
As for what that machine was, you'll find your answer in the Reverie corridor. The main story does not answer that question. Okay, thank you, Ninja. Yeah, I mean, going back to you, Cloud, it looks like you got some, there's lots of games to play on the Switch too. I mean, I'm still awaiting my email from Nintendo as to whether or not I win the lottery to be able to buy one at launch or not. But if I don't, that's okay. But yeah, there's, you know, for me, I'd like to, I'd like to see what, Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom. I haven't played Tears of the Kingdom, but I'd like to see those run sort of as they should, type of thing. You know, 2K, 60 frames per second type of thing, properly. Mario Kart World looks exciting as hell. And even just like the other games that I feel like they're not charging extra for, that still have like some improvements on them. Like I think I wouldn't be shocked if the Xenoblade games have a little bit of an improvement to them. I think Odyssey was another game that had, you know, some pretty bare basic stuff added to it. Yeah, I mean, it's so funny, Soap Dish. We're in a world right now I've never seen. I mean, not that I want to see a recession happening, because that's not good for anybody. But it's super weird to me of like, maybe I'm just taking my own perspective on it. It certainly feels like from an everyday perspective from the last maybe 6 to 8 months that we've been living in a recession. And every government just wants to say, no, we're not. No, we're not. Despite the fact that we sort of are. And I feel like with everything sort of going on lately, it's going to come to, you know, to fruition that someone will eventually say, yes, the recession. And I don't know how, what falls with that. I've been hearing about the video game crash is long overdue and has been for a much longer period of time, almost since like COVID, because all the game developers overhired a bunch of people and now they're slowly laying off hundreds of people. And I think the $80 USD thing for games is going to be the thing that's going to put it over the top. What's going to happen is I think people are just not going to buy games, whether it's because we actually go into a proper recession or not. Even I agree with you. Like I said, like it feels like we've been in one for quite some time. But people are not going to be buying the luxury items, the video games, the stuff. You know, it's gonna be tough to live. And so I think like once that happens, people are gonna be like, yeah, maybe we got a little greedy, you know, asking $100 for video games, Canadian, 110. It's a little much. You know, $80 USD is a little much. Hearing someone like, what's his name, the Borderlands guy, Randy Pitchford, you know, the moron that he is, thinks that people are gonna pay $80+ for Borderlands 4 just because. It's people like that are, you know, out of touch with reality, unfortunately. Yeah, fuck Randy Pitchford. Yes, exactly. That's one quick way to get your game pirated, dude.
I see. Then we would request your aid, so we can finally bring this madness.
And you got a
to
list
an
of
end.
15 Switch 1 games you still want to play. All the Pikmin games, Xenoblade 2, 3, and Sex, and Donkey Kong Tropical Freeze. Yes.
Then it shall be given.
I mean, I still look at it as like, I got all the Xenoblades I gotta play. I haven't touched them. Although I feel like, for me, I want to start at the beginning. You know, Xenosaga, or Xenogear, sorry, then Xenosaga, and then Xenoblade. I don't see how Randy Pitchford can look at what the release was of Borderlands 3 and think that all will be forgiven in Borderlands 4. I mean, I'm not really a Borderlands fan. I mean, I played the first two really off and on for a little bit. Not really my type of games, but people seem to enjoy them. And then, you know, number 3 was hot garbage, from what I heard.
Have reached the other shrines.
And it seems like, you know, a lot of game developers are unfortunately phoning it in lately. You know, just being happy with what they're releasing and us being beta testers.
We're good to go at any time.
Yeah, I think what the secret is everyone has to find their Baldur's Gate 3 as to what it is to Soap Dish, right? Either this is the time to really play that deep backlog that everyone's got, or, you know, take a step back and go back to enjoying some things that they did beforehand. Played a little bit of Borderlands 3 with Miss Rainbow Sparkle, and to trade it in the normal game, $4 trade credit, deluxe edition, $3. Fuck's sakes.
Thinking about it, this will be the first time both Class 7s have come together since Prince Olivert's wedding.
Like, for me, like, you say you went to trade in the game. I don't know if you actually went through with it. But, like, I remember that when I went to, I think it's going to be called EB Games again now in Canada. But, I remember taking my games over and, like, handing it to them and then scanning it and then going, oh, yeah, that's going to be $2, that's going to be $2. And I'd be like, oh, like, I thought I'd be getting something at least decent. And I remember, like, oh, no, I'll keep these. Like, you know, I'm not expecting the sports games to be giving out $30 type of thing, but, you know, see them turn around and sell it for a lot, you know.
Yeah, not the most festive of circumstances, but it sounds like we'll be needing all the help we can get.
So you made it through Xenoblade 1's main story, but haven't done the extra story yet. Currently playing Suikoden HD Remaster, but the Fatal Fury Platinum is a distraction I did not think it would be.
Ever since the Supreme Leader made his move, this land has been engulfed in chaos.
Well, that's good trade-in value, though, there. And I mean, you know, ever since I've pretty much became a PC player, you know, I'll buy, you know, I haven't bought a Switch game in a while, but that's pretty much probably the only physical games I have. Everything else is PC and just a download. I've lost my interest in physical media.
The people of Zemuria aren't going to know peace until he's well and truly deposed.
I will say that doesn't. I do see a lot of people where we are in a world of where, like, no, you know, if it's you know, you have a license, you know, you don't really own anything if it's digital. And to be fair, like, I agree with that. But that's where, like, things were like GOG, GOG, good old games, that's good, where they're offering a lot more games lately with, you know, where you don't have to worry about being online or losing your game just because they'll shut off the license. You will always have access to that. I'm really a big adamant supporter of that type of stuff. And I mean, you can never say never, but could you imagine if, like, just Steam out of nowhere just went away and everyone's Steam games were just poof gone? Like, the world would come to an end. I'm just glad there's such a lull in the PS5 so you can pick up and get a huge backlog for the Switch. Yeah.
So let's go to Crossbell, where we'll end this once and for all.
All things go back to Crossbell in the end.
Oh, wait, shadowlings from realms fantastic. Deliver us to the land of Terra illusions.
Sadly, your pinhead mother put your PS2 games in storage. One of those games is worth $40. Could use that trade-in, but alas, I've got plenty of gift cards for next purchase. Are they still currently in storage, though, Ninja? Like, accessible still? DVDs and Blu-rays are really coming back, too. All the good stuff keeps moving between streaming. I think that's what's bothering people, right? Is, like, remember when Netflix first came out and it was just Netflix? And, you know, I'm sure this was part of Netflix's plan, but I mean, like, you know, people all went to Netflix and was like, this is cool. They have everything I want to see. It's, you know, they have new stuff and they're keeping the stuff. And then eventually they lose the license to stuff. And then another platform comes up and everyone else, you know, now there's 8 streaming platforms and now they're losing them, or some of them only have bits of seasons. And then you have to go get another one. They have to get Paramount Plus for something to watch season 3 in the middle of something else. Like, so what's happening is people are getting sick and tired of it, right? So what's happening is people are going back to DVDs and Blu-rays because they're sick and tired of the streaming stuff. They got greedy, right? They got greedy. Whether or not people are noticing and unsubscribing to these streaming platforms, that's another story, right? But it took over a half a day for the Republican Army to get the situation at their base under control and come to Nord's aid. They claimed to have no idea why their tanks and airships had started acting on their own. They were also clearly finding it hard to believe that all of the weapons slated to be destroyed could have just disappeared. We owe you our deepest thanks for helping to avoid the worst case scenario here. I'll admit, I never thought the day would come when I would feel gratitude towards the Ashen Chevalier. We're just glad that we were able to prevent a third party from igniting the flames of war all over again. A third party indeed. I did notice that Reen's left eye is back to normal again, so... maybe that's just a thing when he's in that robot thing. Our unit will be here shortly, it seems. We anticipate it will take several days to remove all of our weapons from the Highlands, but it should prove doable. Until that's complete, our armies shall not interfere with one another in this region. Is this acceptable to you? Yes. We'll do all that we can to make sure discussions between our governments go smoothly too. Well, I certainly hope you succeed. Phew, I'm glad we could convince them to give us the benefit of the doubt. I mean, they clearly suspect Erebonian involvement, but can't dismiss the idea that this was really the United Nations' work either. Especially since they must know as well as we do that physically moving these weapons in such a short time won't be easy. I imagine they're still having trouble believing that His Highness the Prince was abducted too. I'm not surprised, still having a hard time processing what happened and we were directly involved. The sudden appearance of that white divine knight turned the situation in the Highlands on its head. In the end, it disappeared before anything could be ascertained about its origin or objectives. During the chaos, the devices in the watchtower and on the giant statue, as well as the robotic Arios, vanished without a trace. This left us without as much as a single clue to work with.
It's 5 o'clock somewhere!
Live from China? What time is it there? I'm in China. Jesus. It's 10 p.m. here, 10 a.m. in China. Let me go fill up the wino. Now, Kat, I do have to say, it's Friday for you. You're in the future. How was travel on the DeLorean then? How are you not jet lagged? You were so energetic you didn't sleep well at all on the plane. I'm in the taxi from the airport to my hotel. And yeah, adrenaline from being in Midway. Cheers to China. Can the taxi driver hear me? Does he understand me at all? China number 1. He also doesn't speak English. How do you know? It's all a ruse. They all do. Everyone does. The Courageous 2 and the Merkaba were also heavily damaged. Fortunately, there were no injuries among the crews of both ships, but it was clear neither would fly again anytime. I mean, it looked like they were both cut in half. Point 2 map, go here. Don't they have like their own version of like everything over there? It comes with a translation built in, very handy. Boy, they've thought of everything over there, haven't they? I'd love to stay and watch and chat longer, but I have to be up in 6 hours to get ready for work, so I have to call it a night. Soap Dish, don't work too hard, my friend. Get a good night's of sleep. Thank you for coming on in, my friend. Hopefully you have a normal workday tomorrow, my friend. Furthermore, we still had no idea where the sonorous seashell was, and as a result, remained unable to use the round 7. The United Nation also continued to block all communications, preventing us from learning about the situation there. Unfortunately, that left us in the dark as to the whereabouts and condition of Elisa, Machias, and Toa. This is why Samuel L. Jackson needs to teach English across the world. That's the manly pulp fiction way of doing things. Well, the situation might have calmed, but we still haven't truly resolved anything. Your assistance would be a boon to us, not that I intend to sit on my hands either. I'll be thinking of a way forward. I will see that they reach the capital safely. I'm counting on you to do what you can on your end. Got room for a +1? I was dreading having to explain my way through the checkpoint. And there was still a lot we needed to do in order to quell the chaos, but it was clear that sitting idly was not an option. We all knew that we needed to come together and plan our next move as soon as possible. The other day he was playing GTA with Brandon and it blew his mind that we didn't know Kirk and Luann Van Houten are cousins. Wait. Today I learned. I didn't know that Kirk and Luann Van Houten were cousins. I mean, it all starts to make sense with Milhouse now. Did anybody else know this? You don't all need to stare at me like that. I'm not gonna faint at any moment. I'm fine now, honestly. The words "I'm fine" carry little weight coming from you. I couldn't agree more. We take our eyes off you for just a little while and look what happens. I really think you're blowing what happened out of proportion. We only worry because we care, Reen. I'm genuinely grateful that you saved the lives of my family. I really am. But we want to know what happened to you, too, so if you know, please tell us. Seeing your hair and one of your eyes change color like that reminded me of half a year ago. It made me think of how you looked when the curse had almost taken you over. Sorry, I really don't want to worry you. But I swear there's nothing wrong with me. I can't sense any curse hanging over me now. We were able to confirm from Aaron that the Great Twilight is completely over, so it should be impossible for what happened to Reen to be connected in any way, but I'd like to believe that too. But what happened seems to be suggesting otherwise. The changes in your appearance are not the only unusual part of what happened either. You were able to summon a Panzer Soldat from far away, were you not? Yeah, like, how'd you even do that? It was one of the new ones from Branch Campus's hangar, right? Yeah, from the new generation developed by Makarov. They still haven't been formally deployed, but they're stronger than the current generation that's in use. The Tierfing S was specifically developed for Reen and tuned to him, but that alone does not explain what happened. Right, like it's not meant to be able to teleport or cut railway gun shells in half. You'd normally only expect that kind of power from Divine Knights. I think the whole thing was BS if it wasn't coming from you. But speaking of Knights, what's this about something that looked like one showing up? We're all wondering the same thing. Hopefully we'll know more when Rosalia and the others finish their investigation.
I see everyone is assembled already.
She is from Shelbyville, and there's an episode where they say that's true. Huh. Weird.
Have you managed to learn anything?
So, again, maybe this will be answered, but the thing that Sohee mentioned, this Tierfing S thing, was that just something that came to Reen out of nowhere? Because that's, like, it sort of seemed like people knew that those soldats existed. And maybe I glanced over this previously, but I don't remember that robot being mentioned out of nowhere.
I most certainly did, but it was not easy.
I'm sure you'll be able to get yourself a good noodle soup there, Cat. I have a question for you, kiddo. Did you feel anything unusual other than the changes in your body when you saw that white contraption? Now that you mention it... What is it, instructor? Don't you dare try and keep any more secrets from us. I'm not going to. I'm just having trouble explaining what I felt in words. The second I saw it, all kinds of images and emotions came flooding into my head, all at once. I can't remember what specific images and emotions they were, though. Really? I believe it was some kind of resonance phenomenon. You and that 8th Divine Knight resonated with one another. Wait, Divine Knight? You are convinced that it truly stands among their number, then? What do you mean when you say they resonated? Now that you mention it, that thing did seem interested in Reen somehow. It appeared immediately after Reen used that strange power too. Not out of nowhere again, Reverie corridor, main story doesn't answer this. Okay. I'll find out in the corridor. I can't check into my room for another 4 hours, so gotta kill time somehow. I mean, obviously, Kat, it's 5 o'clock somewhere. I'm sure you and the boyfriend could go for a drinky poo. They do serve alcohol in China, right? Get yourself a Yingling or something, or a Tiger beer. Whatever floats your boat. Wait a second. None of this is making any sense. Yes, you know as well as we do that it can't be a genuine Divine Knight. Calm down, I know very well what you're saying. I know that there are only supposed to be 7 Divine Knights, and that they have all vanished from this dimension. But the mana flowing throughout it and the marks it left in the spirit veins leave no room for doubt. We can hardly afford to ignore that coming from the Elder of the Kin of Fire. I can't believe what I'm hearing. Unfortunately, I haven't a clue what caused the resonance to happen. Perhaps it's because you were a former Awakener, or perhaps the cause lies elsewhere. You're alone, actually. And it's 10 a.m. and I don't want to drink yet. But I will find some food and maybe a massage. Happy ending? But either way, this new Divine Knight will likely be our biggest clue yet in learning what we are facing. And since its existence is even more of an impossibility than the advanced technology we've seen changes in Reen's body, I'm still having trouble processing it all, if I'm honest. But I think at least I see what we need to be doing. Yeah. Better just to do something than sit around worrying about it. We need to find answers we seek, and then bring all of this to an end. That is all there is to it. Is Beyond the Horizon the next game after this? Beyond the Horizon. I don't even know what that is. Oh, that's that new, the Trails game that was announced in Japan. Yeah, there's 2 Daybreaks, Daybreak 1 and Daybreak 2. Sorry, Cloud. I was like, I thought Beyond the Horizon was like, well, it is a new game, but like... But grandmother, what brings you to Nord in the first place? We are fortunate that you are here, but I imagine your presence is no coincidence. Oh, I haven't explained yet, have I? I've been investigating something related to this case for a while now with a couple of helpers. I'll call them here now.
Celine, can you and Zeit come here for a moment?
Yeah, Horizon's after Daybreak 2, yeah. And so Daybreak 1 and 2 are their own story thing. And then is Beyond the Horizon another story of other characters? It's hard to keep up with all this stuff.
If you insist.
Celine has chosen,
So much for that saucer of milk I was savoring.
instead of cat mode, human cat mode.
There'll be others. Still, I didn't know you were here in Nord.
And in human form.
Only because it's part of my training. I'm not in this form by choice. I would have thought she'd be used to it by now, but it seems not.
I believe this is our first time speaking like this, children of Erebonia.
He has such a strange voice. I have to assume DJ probably would got it on the PS5, would be my guess.
Zeit! I wasn't expecting to see you here.
You must be the SSS's Divine Wolf. He really can talk, huh?
He can. No, I'm off all week. I don't go back until Monday morning. So I will be streaming tomorrow morning more trails as well. So Horizon follows directly after Daybreak 2. The reason why the game is named Horizon instead of Daybreak 3 is because it concerns everything that happened up to the point, everything across the entire series. Okay.
Thank you again for coming to our aid yesterday. We would have been in real trouble without
So
you.
is it sort of the same way as how, like, this could have been called Cold Steel 5, but I sort of see what you're saying of, like, this is sort of wrapping up a few things from Cold Steel, Trails in the Sky, and, you know, the Crossbell games a little bit, I guess.
The SSS told us about you. How you're a holy beast charged with watching over a Septarian the way Rosalia was.
Yes, my first week off of the year. First of many. But, yeah.
That was once my duty, but I've since been relieved of it.
You're off tomorrow, might hop into the chat and maybe stream something 3 to 4. Cool, I'll try to hop on in myself. I don't think I have anything overly planned tomorrow. I mean, I'm going to stream at my normal time, and I think it's probably just going to be a lazy Friday or so.
Still, this continent is mine.
What are you going to play?
As much as it is yours. Thus, I have kept vigil over the land since the Great Twilight, particularly for distortions in the spirit vein.
Are you going to be streaming from Luigi or Y2 Cloud? What's your account you stream from now? Or do you still stream from both? I'm going to have to follow you. If it's Luigi and McSqueegee. Okay. I was under the impression that those distortions had disappeared after the Twilight met its end. They did, for a while, but some time ago they returned once more. The reaction we sent was strong enough to be called a singularity, but we were unable to piece together anything else. We have been combining our efforts to find out more ever since. And then yesterday, it finally decided to step on into the spotlight for us. In other words, the singularity you're talking about. Is that Divine Night? Indeed. We hurried to the scene, and even we were shocked by what we saw. Unfortunately, we weren't entirely sure where it is now, but after your encounter, it appeared to set off in the direction of Crossbell. All roads lead to Crossbell, it seems. The distortion first appeared in Crossbell 2. Testimony from the 23rd Armor Division indicated that the vanished warships and railway guns were sent there too. That was also where the Supreme Leader first appeared to sow the seeds of a new war. I'm sure Lloyd and the others are doing their best over there, but they shouldn't need to face this alone. Yeah, I'm sure Elisa, Machias, and Toa would appreciate our help too. If we want to find out the truth and bring all this to an end, I think we're going to have to go there ourselves. Count us in too. We can't turn a blind eye to this either. All of our work related to the coup d'etat and the abduction are now finished. Yep, and now we can fully dedicate ourselves to this. We should finally be able to gather in one place. I guess I could tag along. Thanks, everyone. I don't know what I'd do without you. This begs the question of how we're going to get into Crossbell, though. True, the Ebon Defense Force has the whole border fortified. We won't be able to rely on my Merkaba or the Courageous Two for a while either. But given the current situation, we may have another option. Indeed. With the spirit vein stimulated, we should be able to open up the spirit path. I think that's our best option, though it won't be easy to use that method to travel all the way to Crossbell. Indeed, the veins aren't as active as they were during the Great Twilight, and there are a rather lot of us, but I think if it will work us to teleport to different spirit shrines across the land. That'll take some groundwork to pull off, but I can help out with that. And it sounds like we have a plan. We really are fortunate to have you all. We'll have preparations of our own to make, so how does departing tomorrow afternoon suit everyone? I mean, if nothing else, We need to make sure our way to the nearest spirit shrine. Alright, let's go with that. I'll see everyone tomorrow in Crossbell. So you're going to stream from both. Luigi will just be Nintendo games. Y2... So maybe you explained this already. Why have a separate account to stream Nintendo games? Are you afraid Miyamoto is just going to squeeze on through your new webcam and yank you by the throat and strangle you like Homer onto Bart? A new webcam as yours going? Reverie touches on some things that Cold Steel 4 couldn't address through its runtime. The real reason for Reverie is to set up for future games and give Crossbell Arc a proper ending. Once Trails to Azure ends, Crossbell's story is more or less put on hold because Bonerville took priority. Okay. I recognize this place. Yeah, the wetlands southeast of Crossbell City. Lake Elm. This is also where Leanne breathed her last half a year ago. I thought it would be a safe place to arrive, given its distance from the city. I think that was an appropriate decision. Thanks for the help, Sleen, Zeit. Like nothing of it. I didn't do much. I was happy to help.
It's funny how nostalgic it feels to be back here. I haven't even been away for that long.
It's Crossbell. Of course you feel that way.
It's home.
Don't worry. I'm sure your family is fine.
The can was very cheap that I got. It glitches and has been freezing my gameplay streams, so I'm going to use it just for work when I have to go on cam for coaching or when Kojiko trains us and get a good one for Switch. You should be asking your work to give you a new one. Don't they want you to have a cam? Is that the shitty one they gave you?
And we're here to make sure it stays that way.
Thanks. Both of you. You're right. I need to believe.
Just like Parappa the Rapper. I gotta believe.
I'm surprised you were able to make it, Major. Finding and taking care of all Supreme Leader sympathizers in the army didn't sound like it would be an easy job.
Matthias Vander graciously agreed to take over the reins of that task. Generals Van Dyke, Zex Vander, and Craig are also taking direct roles in the effort. With the domestic situation in capable hands, I thought it best to focus on excising the problem at the root. And on a personal level, I want to know what Rufus is trying to achieve.
You bought it off of Amazon for $30 and the monitor they gave me has one built in, but I don't have the cable it needs to work, so that's why I was using your own. Wait. There's a... What on earth kind of cable does it use if it's not USB?
It's regretful that we're still none the wiser.
It's like a fucking micro USB or something.
The real Rufus said something about meeting next in Crossbell, didn't he?
He did. I'm sure we'll be meeting both the real and replica soon enough.
Hey, are you sure you're alright, Reen?
Yesterday must have put you through it, huh?
A DVI cable? Oh my god, how old are the monitors they gave you?
Well, I'm not planning on pulling off anything like that again. So no
Might as
reason
well
for my
be
family to
VGA.
get worked up.
Okay, as long as you understand. Zeno and Leo would hate it if something happened to you too. Don't forget that.
I don't know how they factor into this, but good to know.
Hello, Miss Biscuits. How are you? Sorry, the idiots that are at the end of my hallway. I'm certainly going to be happy and glad to be away from them. I swear to God, they must be doing cartwheels in the hallway. Like, fucking, I don't know. Fucking idiots. Are you in the glory old land of Ohio right now, Miss Biscuits?
dropping them always works wonders.
I don't care what you do, so long as you come back with some good samples for my research. Even the Society isn't capable of making those devices or humanoid weapons. Just hurry up and get my materials back.
Like, how about no, Professor Shithead? 49 months. You're hanging out in bed with Wolf at your parents' house and decided to pop on in and say hello while he's playing Final Fantasy IV. That's really old. Playing on, like, Steam Deck? Game Boy? Advance? I don't know. I sent you the video to your Insta of how I got the name. Okay.
You must really be frustrated by their absence to have
Switch.
agreed to come with us,
Oh.
Professor.
I keep forgetting about that thing, despite that it's directly in front of me.
At least we don't need to worry about any tech issues with you around.
So what are you all planning on
It's
doing
year-long weekend this next weekend, right? For America. Samples for Schmidt means better weapons for the team. He's allowed to be I know you're right, Ninja, but still. He's a dick. But he's our dick.
If nothing else, I
Our
want
Richard,
to further
if you
investigate
will.
the spirit veins.
I think we need to start by getting a solid grasp of the situation here.
Memorial weekend, that's right.
Our final goal is to apprehend the Supreme Leader and liberate Crossbell.
So, you know.
But we need to
Our
proceed
past
with
long
caution.
weekend, we celebrate a queen. Your weekend, you celebrate the armed forces. And then you have Veterans Day, which is separate, which you honor the ones who've lost their lives in wars, I believe, correct? Week and a half, I'm gonna go all long weekends for who knows how long. Right, yeah, like every weekend's a long weekend. Truly now, every weekend, Miss Biscuits is having a box of wine. Also, I got it mixed up. Memorial Day is for honoring those who lost their lives, and Veterans Day is the one for past and current members. Thank you.
Right. We don't know what's lurking behind him and what the EDF is up to. We just have to play
The
it by
old
ear.
switcheroo.
Especially since we can't use the round of 7. If we screw up, we can't exactly reach out for backup.
Oh, Reen's still capable of pulling something out of his ass for backup.
That's very true.
It really hurts to not be able to communicate freely.
Looks like I made the right move coming here after all.
What's that?
Lecter.
Lecter!
I'll let it slide. You are Canadian after. Yeah, we only have one day for our armed forces.
Hey there. How's it hanging, guys? Sounds like you ran into some kind of hell in Nord.
How the hell are you always one step ahead, Scarecrow? And how do you even know we were here? Don't even try to say it was a hunch. He is the one person for whom I wouldn't rule that out. Just because we can't communicate with the outside doesn't mean there's no other way to find out what's going on. A guy could steal a transceiver from the EDF, for example. Oh, how cunning. I imagine that proved more difficult than you make it sound. Apart from that, I just know you guys. I figured that you'd use that little hack of yours for getting around. Pair that with the other intel I figured you had, and boom. The fact that I came to Crossbell right before the ceremony was all instinct, though. I just figured something would happen. That intuition of yours truly is sharp. Who are you to talk about hacks and shit? His acumen is impressive indeed. Wait, but if you've been in Crossbell this whole time... Yup, we've got notes to compare. Shall we? We would appreciate that. I'm so glad that Elisa, Machias, and Toe are alright. Yeah, and Lloyd and the others too. I can't say I've seen every one of them with my own eyes, but they're a tough bunch. I'm sure they're all still playing their parts. But it sounds as though the Ivan Defense Force are even more of a, well, force to reckon with than we feared. Yeah, I really don't want to come up against all those new Zopper Soldats. We don't have any Soldats of our own, but we're going to want to avoid a head-on conflict. Especially if they have so many of them, just like for how long they've been preparing for this. Ain't that the question? Personally, I'm more concerned about where all those weapons that vanished from Nord ended up. We were under the impression that they had been sent to Crossbell. But you say that doesn't match up with what you've learned. It sure doesn't. Besides, where would you even hide that much stuff in a small place like Crossbell? That's true. Active camouflage alone can only get you so far. If you're saying the EDF never brought them up on the time spying, then that doesn't suggest that you really aren't here. Well, I mean, the only way to be sure is to check for ourselves. Either way, you know where the EDF is positioned now, at least. The only places I've confirmed they have a presence around here are Michelin and a small number of roads. I'll leave it up to you guys how you do use the intel I've given you. Thanks for sharing it with us. It'll be really helpful. I think our best course is to begin by splitting into groups and gathering information. I'd like to start by learning more about the situation in Michelin, St. Ursula, and near the city. A prudent approach. Let's split up into groups then. Oh boy. Reen's group will be responsible for investigating the Michelin area and select which members will accompany him, and you can choose one of Reen's students. Joyce. Oh, so literally you've chosen everybody except one. My only question is, if this is the entire group, is this whoever I don't choose, are they in another group? Because it did mention 3 areas to go to. Like everyone's okay, so we don't pick goes in the other party. Okay, so that changes my thing because I was gonna choose Kurt, but I'd like to have Kurt in another party, so I will take the lowest level Ash and throw him there. And then it looks like I guess we can start throwing some equipment to them or what? It's up to you. I chose Ash, but the others will do just as well. I would assume so. Alright, Fee. Is this even something I want to do at this point? I mean, I guess I'm going to put a tag along in. What do you mean a tag along? Alright, we need more evasion for Fee. Next weekend and then the weekend after is going to be crazy. Baseball game May 30th, One Piece card tournament June 1st, 2 shifts of work, and then the Switch 2 on the 5th of June. Alright, the energy bandana, that could be good. The empty spot that said extra. Oh. So I can choose another one. Oh. One of these people. Complete immunity. Or CP plus 80 and a magic attack absorber. Let's go with that. Okay, back to this. Is there any more evasion? Oh, geez. Oh, well. Do they say who these are on? I guess if I went to take them off, they would say who it's on, right? Yeah, that's on Reen. Am I confused? That says Lloyd when that's not Lloyd, and that says Rufus when that's not Rufus. Why does it have a picture of the people who aren't them? That's weird. Oh, that's the route they're on. Okay, so Kurt's got that one, and he's on Reen's route. And if I go with this one, that's Lloyd's. So I could take them out from someone else that's not on the route, right? Like Lloyd, you know, either one of these is fine. I mean, look, Ninja. Yesterday, everyone was telling me I was too low of a level to finish Final Fantasy XII. And all I did was throw a little bit of money at it, and game over, man. That was the end of it. Alright, 46% for you. Alright, our strength. Right here. Throw that out. Alright, so who you're... Okay, Reen's rocking that one. Reen. Ash is rocking that. Okay. Ash is rocking some good stuff. Okay. Defense, EP, strength. Good old Mishi music box. And I assume that if their name doesn't even have anything beside it, it means that they're not even on any route at all. Sounds like most of the customers I deal with throw money at a problem and it goes away. I mean, that's how some people do it, right? Right. And the Mishi tail. Do we need 300 accuracy or what? Gladiator belt. Who's got that? Lloyd. Throw that on. Okay. Or someone else fixes it for you, right? Alright, what do you got? You are a magic user. $6,000 HP would be really nice. Why not? The marble bracelets. Sure. Alright, he is good. He is good. Good. Perfect. I guess we could look at the quartz, but those should all be fine. Perfect. I mean, Ninja, basically all I do in the Reverie corridor is play Pom Pom Party and Vantage Masters. We don't even level up. I mean, sure, we go out in those make-believe dungeons and, you know, bonk a couple of enemies and get some stones and whatnot, but... yeah, that's not what it's for. I guess this is our team then. I haven't been to Michelin since the send-off party 7 months ago. We owe a great deal to Eunice's father for his help at the time, so I do hope he's in good health. I really hope we can make sure that while we're there. I'm sure we can learn something too. Try not to stress too much. Yeah, we'll find out what's going on.
Listen, Reen. I refuse to allow you to shoulder any more burdens alone. Not while I'm here. I've spent the past half year becoming stronger for your benefit. Rely on me, please, without protest,
Laura is
without
really
reservation.
Just throwing it on strong here.
I'm sorry for worrying you, Laura. I'll be sure to count on you. Battle or no battle.
Good. I'm glad to hear that.
Alright, we'll make our way to St. Ursula then. It sounds like the EDF aren't standing guard there. Be careful all the same. Should you find anything, inform us promptly. We'll make our way towards the city. I'm hoping we can find some way to get inside of it. Should we find any elements of resistance, we'll offer our support. We're counting on you. Let's do this thing, people. We shall accompany them part of the way. Yeah, there's a spirit vein I want to investigate in that direction. Oh, and speaking of Michelin, there are distortions in the spirit veins over in that region too. Be careful. We will. Thanks for telling us. I'll be counting on you too, Celine. I know. If anything happens, I'll be sure to put the kibosh on it. Thanks, and sorry. I really hate to be such a source of worry for everyone. If anything but happened to you is likely to be our biggest clue going forward, you needn't apologize. Fear not. We'll keep watch over him. I'll restrain him by force if I have to. Please do. Sucks to be popular, huh? It sure does, Crow. Well, there's clearly still a lot we have to learn. I'm sure we can find some way out of this if we work together. So let's make for Michelin. I'm counting on you all. Right!
So it's back to the wetlands, huh? Reminds me of our encounter with the Steel Maiden.
That is a lot
We
of
owe her
character
so
notes
much.
that you were adding.
Truly.
I know this place is gloomy and all, but you don't need to make it gloomier with your attitudes.
You're right. We'd best pick up our spirits and
It
our pace to
probably
Michelin.
does, but
No.
it's probably also good enough type of thing. Like, the tactics are more important. And look at how ridiculous these tactics are, okay? These are the things that I truly care about. Fucking silliness. That's Yuna. You can go there. You can go. Put you there. Put you there. Put you there. Put you there. Put you smack dab in the middle. Am I going to report those missions? I have to go back to the corridor for those, though, don't I? No? Do I just do it at this thing? Let's see, what's she got? Spirit Breaker, that's good. She's got a lot of strength. The evasion, she could probably get rid of that. Hit L1 or L2. Mission menu. There we go. Thank you. I think that's all I had to do, right? Alright. She, the evade. Really doesn't need the evade. So let's just see what we got for, first of all, moon lens. Does someone have a moon lens? No. Why on earth does Ash have a EP? Jesus Christ. Do I have a lone blade to put on Laura? I probably do. It's probably on him. Probably better swapped out. Wasn't that the thing that sort of broke the game with Laura, though? Like, I don't know if that continuously works its way here, but... wasn't that that thing? Like, I mean, I think that was all part of a bigger setup, obviously. Of, like, having, like, a master quartz that was set in, but, like... I'll throw it on her. Or replace something else with, green. Let's see. What can we put on him, then? Something that's big on strength. I feel like we're missing something here. What are you missing here, my friend? Probably something relatively pretty good. Got brakes. Shield breaker. Looks like we could put another breaker on. Aqua gem. Dragon. No. What's this? We could put that on. Oh, she's got that on. God damn it. Got Swordbreaker, I could do. Action 1. There's got to be like a higher action we could put on. Action 2. Attack 2. Is there an attack 3? Well, you really gotta look at a few of these things and realize, like, geez, like, there's some people who have some really terrible things that aren't even on people. Alright, that looks okay to me. I could... Might as well do it now. See what we have, if there's other things to swap out. Sure. Like, even if you like the hit one, like, you know, those things do work for her. You know, throw a hit 2 on there. Materials okay. Level 2s, level 3s, those are all good. Ash, you need some work, buddy. I don't want to overdo it, so I'm just going to look for higher levels of stuff. Doesn't have anything. He probably actually needs to move a lot. What's his move? 8 compared to... B can move a lot, okay. And he's sort of at the back, so... maybe moving... Keep that. Okay, he's got the moon lens, action 1. Probably aren't going to be using him much anyways. Rage. Alright. We'll just leave it at that. Alright. Rest. How long is this area? There we go. Like, what are we working towards here? Like, just going to Michelin? Like, I feel like, you know, this looks like just a pretty basic area. I just don't know where my next save point is. I don't want to be too late. I mean, I assume already my wife and son are already sleeping, but I don't want to be overly too late streaming. Not that I don't think I'm being loud or whatever, but... Because we can really sink our teeth in, really?
Everyone ready?
We can really sink our teeth in tomorrow, obviously.
I'm next.
Alright, let's see. God, it's been so long with playing with so many of these people.
Let's go. Down.
An opening.
I'm up.
I forget how they play.
Let's go.
And if I know my Laura, frickin' done. Did that hit everybody? No. The Cleveland Steamer does, though. See you later.
As your cleaver. Now.
Come on.
How foolish.
See?
Showtime.
I know. Ah, beautiful. You get
Let's go.
Now my question is, does this count as a different fight for Laura?
My turn.
Or not? What do we got here? Could really just turn it up a little bit.
Go berserk! Inferno Hunt!
Let's go. As your cleaver!
Yeah, so that must have counted as the single fight.
It's my turn! Kane?
Here I go.
They're already dead. What do you think this ice drone's gonna do? Anything? Not a thing. See?
Showtime. Now.
Bring up that BP.
Pumped up.
Oh,
Set gunner mode.
oh, come on. You can't hit it still.
Set striker mode. My turn.
Get some CP up. Here.
Let's go.
Put this poor thing out of its misery.
My mind is clear. My blade empty.
It's so mean to do such a thing, right? It's just some pleb. Just rocking around in a forest. Wasn't really thinking he was gonna run into a bunch of teenagers that were gonna fuck him up.
That's the power of the 8 leaves.
Nice!
You see what he's doing there? See what he's doing? Ash is part of the bloodline. I did it for the rock. I gotta hit the hay, friend. Been a very long day. Enjoy the rest of your stream, 98. Thanks for hopping on in there, Biscuits, and thanks for the 49 months. Appreciate that. Sleep well.
Everyone ready?
Yes, indeed, he's right.
Let's go.
Now.
An open.
I'm up.
And this feels like a waste, but he's gonna get so many points back anyways.
Now.
They're mine.
Well, he does get. I think he started at 190, that costed 80, and he's back up to 156. So in reality, that hit just cost 30 CP. Absolutely wonderful.
My turn.
Oh, come on. You can't even reach him with that.
As your cleaver.
More overkill.
Now, let's continue onward.
And she just puts the sword away in her vagina. Like, gaping hole, sure.
Yeah,
All this for some clear gelatin.
Can't wait to get my mitts on that chest.
Sen and Gem. So I don't know where, like, this looks like, is that where I'm going? I mean, there's obviously more things here on the Ursula roadway. So I'm gonna head back over that way. I did see that in the Trails in the Sky remake that they were going to add, like, a little thing about, oh, we can't go to St. Ursula. Never mind then. Sarah and the others are gonna handle on over that way. Okay then. Heaven forbid I want to explore. That I, like, if you, you know how in the original you could interact with the chests? Looks like there's going to be a little wording, but it's not something new for each one, obviously. Let's see here. We're going to go to the beach. Okay, let's go to the south first.
Let's get him!
Ooh, a critical.
Kane, down! Now!
They're mine! I'll handle this. As your cleaver! Now!
Mine! I'm next.
Let's go.
Now! Alright, let's do this!
Yes!
Got it!
Yes! Here I go! Showtime!
My turn.
Here I go!
Any of these get back BP points? I don't think so.
Let's go! That's the power of the 8 leaves.
It looks like part of my ceiling is like fallen down. Like not like in an alarming way, like little bits and pieces of like paint from the landlord special. And I'm trying to figure out like where on earth it would have come from other than my ceiling. Fuck's sakes.
That's how it's done.
I can't get out of here fast enough.
Nice.
I mean, like not in like an alarming way. Like when I'm looking up at my ceiling, I don't see like anything to be alarmed about. But my cat's litter box has like paint chips all over the top of it. And I don't... Oh, I'll have to take like a closer look at it. I mean, outside of it being an older build, I mean, it tracks. I mean, I'm trying to think if I want to do like a final, like when I'm moving out of like a little apartment tour. But I also like to keep that type of thing sort of private to myself. It sounds weird as a streamer of keeping things private when I'm sitting here parading my face out like this. But,
Ooh, an opening!
Let's go.
I'm trying to figure out like when is the opportune time that I should be contacting movers just to get like a like an estimate. Like it's not till like October, but like I'm sort of like I feel like a lot of people move out in the summer, not necessarily like in the fall type of thing. So I'm sort of like trying to figure like, you know, I mean at worst I can go and call them and they'll give me an estimate, it won't matter type of thing, but I'd hate for them to like, you know, for me to call them and then be like, oh, like we're looking at 2026 moves. I'd be like, oh, get on my dick.
More enemies.
Got you.
Let's go.
Oh, that just nailed a few.
It's my turn.
That was awesome.
Can't escape. Fire! Get him!
I'll handle this.
Alright, what do you got that's, yeah, no, that won't get to everybody.
As your cleaver! Off balance! We strike as one!
Yeah,
Got it!
understood.
I was sitting here thinking about this like the other day of like, not that I oversaw myself like being here in this apartment for like the rest of my life, despite that I do love me the cheap rent. But what sort of occurred to me was, because of how old the building is, I sort of thought like how terrible it would be that if I was here like super long term and I was like getting old, just the thought of like, oh, the building's too old, like we have to tear it down and you have nowhere to go. Like, I'd rather be in charge of that at myself, at a younger age than thinking that like later on.
Let's do this.
Kane,
I mean, relatively speaking, it's not like in
Showtime.
it's not like it's in terrible shape as I say that as things are apparently coming down around me, but
Go.
it's for the things that they can control type of thing, it's not bad.
I'll handle this.
Some of the worst things that I'm not really too keen on, and I've said before, is like that there's apparently a new building being built literally where our parking lot is. So they've ripped up our parking lot. People are parking on the grass. It looks a little ghetto, for lack of a choice of words. And they really don't say anything about it. Like, it's like no one knows when this new building is supposed to be like being built or anything, and they're supposed to be fixing the parking garage, and now they don't. So now you just can't park there, and it's fenced off. Like, and you're sitting there like what the fuck is going on? Like, the lack of communication, I think, is what bothers me more. And I think Luigi can speak a little bit to that of like, because we do live in the same city, I don't know if it's just our city is just that way, or if it's just the way things are in the world right now. I don't know. Yeah, and if it's not older, they've got to be the same age, right? Give or take. But I mean, yours was just bought by another company, and they're doing some improvements, but then they want to make sure they're getting their investments back on that. So, but again, like I said, like, even if they were to do those types of things to my apartment, you still can't fix certain things, right? Like, it doesn't change my walls like crumbling around me. They've been saying for years they're gonna fix the balconies. They haven't done that. They've been saying for the past 4 years they're gonna replace the windows. They haven't done that. Like, it's stuff like that irks me. Like, that you just know, like, out of nowhere one day they're just gonna say like, oh, okay, now we're gonna do those, and then you're gonna be out God knows what.
As your cleaver! Now, we strike as one!
Yeah!
Got it!
Yes!
Pumped up!
They keep coming! Showtime.
And I just read like the Prime Minister's statement on like sort of everything going on, but like, he hit again on the housing situation of where literally every politician is avoiding saying like, look, housing needs to be cheaper, but we also don't want everyone who owns a home to think that everything's gonna drop in price and they won't be able to retire. Like, they don't know what to say. I don't know what the fix is for that in the end, but it's gonna be something. Like I was saying earlier, I truly do believe we are in a recession. Governments are just, for whatever reason,
What a pain.
fighting
Got you.
tooth and nail about not being in a recession. I don't know why they just don't say it. I mean, I guess I understand the ramifications of saying you're in a recession, but everything's pointing to, yes, we're in a recession. Well, I mean, that the exact reason is right there, right? They can't do anything about it because everyone who owns a home, they can't just tell them like, all right, we need to drop prices, but if we do that, that means like, your $1 million home is now back to $500,000 a home. Like, oh my God, people lose their minds, right?
It's my turn.
It's a very interesting thing that I think, long after we're dead will be studied by the aliens.
Fire! Wide open.
They'll figure it out.
I'm next.
Alright, Fee, can we swap you maybe for Crow?
You got this.
Watch and learn.
Oh, we're lucky Dark Fancy Arms is in the chat. She'd be like losing her mind, going like, how on earth have you not called him in?
It's showtime!
Did you hear the conspiracy theory?
How's that? Too stunned for words?
With the alien thing? I mean, there's lots going on with conspiracy theories and aliens. But one of the big breaking ones is that
That'll do it.
there's like these miniature I'm trying to think. So someone said like they went into a room that appeared like to just be a small, like, think of like a porta potty. Like they from the outside they see this door and it's just like a porta potty, and they go inside and they open it up and it's the size of a football field. And they have all these alien shit in there, and of course, they can't say anything more about it, but they say like this is sort of how things work in the alien worlds. And so they said like, could you imagine like
I did it.
that if that was like legitimately real, that if space wasn't really a what we what we think of it as, like, just think of like everyone has a house where like you don't really need to have the space for it. Like, what everyone has the door to the porta potty, and you open it up and there's your house, your mansion, but it doesn't take up a mansion size, right? Everyone, these types of things would blow people's minds because like, oh, you don't really need all this space. If land isn't really what it's about, then it doesn't matter. Oh God, I haven't drinking enough alcohol to have these conversations yet. I've never watched Doctor Who, so
I must
I'm not
continue to train.
entirely up to snuff with my phone booth stuff. I just know that that's where Superman changes into his outfit.
That's how it's done. Nice.
And every, all these UFO nuts keep changing the year.
A treasure chest.
The last thing I read from like it's like all these drones and these sightings of these smaller UFOs that are in and about. It's because there's apparently a giant armada of aliens coming. Apparently in the year 2027, I believe. I believe it's March or May. I can't remember. That's when the big ships are coming. I don't know if it's like Independence Day type of ship, or if it's going to be like, E.T. Phone Home type of thing, or a little bit of in between. Nobody knows. But that's apparently what's going on. So I'll believe it when I see it, I guess. Yes, I know. Yes, they keep. That's why these UFO grifters, no one believes them, because the years keep changing. Now, of course, 2012 was, the Mayan thing. Like, oh, that was the end of the Mayan calendar. That's going to be the end of everything, and it wasn't, right? But yeah, it's stuff like that that really annoys people. That, like, how many times do you think you can keep telling people this before we don't believe you, right? So, I'm really still enjoying
all yours.
Feed.
Got it.
These good people.
I'll handle this.
It'd be like if we just like replaced Laura, like DJ would lose her mind over this. Like, it's just something you just don't do.
As your
January 1st, 2000, you and I were playing Resident Evil 3. Yeah, no Y2K happened, right? I mean, I don't know. I mean, I do remember, like, your parents had a computer. My parents were a little slow to getting a computer. But I don't remember us really having a computer back then. Maybe I remember, I think like late high school, I think your parents had a computer. I remember we were like trying to download songs off of LimeWire and all that stuff. Yeah, it was Y2K proof, that's right. Wait, why does he have a thing on his name? Is that because he has no special? No S-break? That's probably why.
You got this.
Watch and learn.
Oh, you bring him in.
Showtime.
And they miss.
Time to show off.
More enemies.
Got you. Wiping out. Down. All right, let's do this.
Leave it to me.
I remember we played Final Fantasy VII on the PC on your computer.
Mission complete.
Like the Windows, what was it, 97 edition or something? And it didn't actually run that bad, all things considered.
Yeah, I did it.
Nice.
Yeah, Resident Evil, I remember the doors. Windows 98. I remember the doors took forever to open. That was something. Spirit
His luck
Incense.
is on our side.
The feedback, that's right. That's right. See, I can remember some things despite the concussions. You don't know Jack? Great stuff. Great times.
Nice.
I think the thing with Final Fantasy VII was it probably wasn't really overly well optimized, but also like back in the day, like that's before like compute. Like I think you could get graphics cards for computers, but like they weren't like a thing. Like, you know, everything basically could run on a potato. But like I think that was back in the day of like Voodoo graphics cards and separate sound cards and whatnot.
It got away. The bite.
So I'm trying to.
Nice.
I don't think Square really had any iteration into what PC gaming was back then. Whereas I think Capcom, you know, had an idea.
It's a whopper.
Didn't help when Kenny put like Game 30 into. No. No, it didn't help at all.
Now's our chance.
Ah, look at old Kenny.
Let's go.
Duke Nukem, Street Fighter, Sailor Moon, Earthworm Jim. What was another one? Was it Shadowfall? It was Wolfenstein. Trying to think of a few others. Shadow Warrior. That was it. Didn't they like remake that like a few years ago? Tomb Raider, the original, which they also did remake.
Moving out.
The other ones not too long ago again.
Too slow. There.
See, everything is just a full circle. Every game just gets remade again, right? That's essentially that's it.
That's your cleaver.
Showtime.
Oh, perfect. Perfect.
All right.
You have an impede, sir. You do. Nail him.
Too slow. You're down.
Hey, Chief. Is it alright if I hold my guns like this? You're the birthday boy, Lou.
I'm up. open!
Let's go! As your cleaver! Now,
So remember when you rented Final
let's
Fantasy?
continue onward.
I've talked about this before. I don't think. I mean, you know, we were huge fans of video games and whatnot, but that was like such a foreign concept that you had to like save on something separate. I mean, poor Roger's video. I don't know. The poor sap who had to who had to rent the.
Watch out.
Who had to rent that PlayStation after I had it on, I think, for 48 hours straight. We rented RE2 and a memory card from Microplay. Yeah, I remember that was later when we smartened up. I did fish here, yes.
Let's go.
My turn. As your cleaver!
I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab this chest in this area and I'm going to probably call it an evening. Because we're just going to be right back on into it tomorrow. See, that's the beauty of, I think, really going down this road of playing games over more often so we don't forget what we're doing here.
You messed with the wrong guy. That's how it's
Because
done.
surely, in under 10 hours, I surely can't forget what we've done and accomplished, right?
Treasure? My pleasure.
After MK at the movies, you showed me the opening of Final Fantasy. I was like, yeah, this game, of course it's amazing. Holy bell. I could probably go on somebody, for sure. Alright. 2.5 hours ain't bad for an evening stream. We're going to be back for longer tomorrow. I plan on it. I keep thinking, would this be better over here? Like, no, this way. I don't know. Well, maybe we'll play with that a little bit. I don't know. I always keep thinking plans through, and I'm like, I think there's a reason why I was here. But anyways, I thank you all for coming on in. Good talking, good evening streams. We're going to probably try to do more of these going forward. I don't know if my beautiful face will be in them, but we'll see. But yeah, take advantage of the weeks off, and Luigi, we'll see you. Yeah, probably a little bit later because, you know, some people have to work. So for Reen and company, I thank you all for coming on in. As Kenny Omega says,
Oh, you stepped on my penis!
You stepped on my penis. As Kenny Omega says, it's time for me to bounce out and say goodbye and good night. Perfect timing. Thank you. Bye-bye, everybody. We'll see you tomorrow. Oh, God, I forgot the computer is still controlling. Bye-bye.